It's September 18, 1931. Adolf Hitler has not quite turned into the beast he'll become known as, but the man sure does have a temper. He's at his Munich apartment, screaming and shouting, spit flying out of his mouth. The object of his fury is his half-niece, Gaily Raubel. Some people say this girl would be the only love of his life, but on this day, the two are engaged in a tempestuous clash. Is it because he is the father she never really had, or he just loves her dearly, so he doesn't want her to leave? Or is she pregnant with his child, an embarrassment to Adolf and the Nazi Party? Is he just out of his mind on a cocktail of hard drugs? Or is she the one who is deranged? This is still a mystery, but what isn't a mystery is that soon after this argument occurred, Gaily was found with a bullet in her dead body, with her uncle Adolf's smoking gun at her side. That's right, and many people thought that Hitler had fired that gun. The story became one of the biggest scandals in Germany during the period. There's just so much people don't know about Mr. Adolf Hitler. That's why today we're going to take a look at his life and try to figure out why he was the way he was. This show is not so much about Hitler as we know him, the man who waged war on the world, but the man himself. That's why we'll call him Adolf today. We'll come back to the question of if he murdered his niece a bit later, but first let's have a look at that little bundle of joy that was Adolf as a kid. He was born on April 20th, 1889, which made him a Taurus. Okay, so we know most of you don't believe in that kind of thing, but there's no doubt that Adolf was the proverbial bull in a china shop. He smashed up half of Europe. He was born in what is present-day Austria to his father Aloy and his mother Clara. You'll hear many unusual things today, including that Clara was Aloy's third wife and that also his second cousin. She became part of his household at the age of 16, but first as a maid. At that time, Aloy was still married to his second wife. Clara left the household but came back when Aloy's second wife died. She helped Aloy bring up the children and then got pregnant with him. As this was sketchy business back then, they had to go to the church and ask for permission to marry. What's also strange is that she still called him uncle when she was intimate with him. As you'll see later in the show, in relation to Adolf, we can invoke the expression, "the apple didn't fall far from the tree." The two were married in January 1885. Adolf was their fourth child. Clara absolutely loved him. He was a mama's boy, no doubt, which shaped the man he would become. There's also been some speculation that Adolf was beaten by his father and shielded by his mother. But historians aren't too sure of just how physical Aloy got with Adolf. Still, it's said that Aloy was domineering, aggressive, and sometimes cruel. The family at least wasn't too badly off since Aloy earned decent money as a customs official. One of the reasons that Clara liked Adolf so much was the fact that she already had lost two of her kids, Gustav and Ida, to diphtheria. Out of 6 children she had with Aloy, only 2 survived childhood, Adolf and Paula. Not surprisingly, Paula changed her name after the Second World War. It is safe to say that